Shane Beamer is entering his second season as head football coach at the University of South Carolina in Columbia. Today, I talk one-on-one with him about spring training, the second season, and what's next for the football team for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Coach Shane Beamer, welcome to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Oh, it's great to be on here with you. I appreciate you having me on.
I appreciate it greatly. Obviously, you were the head football coach at the University of South Carolina, Columbia, and I know you're heading into your second season as obviously the head football coach. Who is Shane Beamer right now in the off season?
Very much like the guy during the season. You know, with our job, you stay so busy. And right now we're in the middle of spring practice, so we're staying busy with that. And trying to get our football team better. Recruiting in college football is 365 days a year, so very much the same person. Just the only difference is we're not getting ready for a game this Saturday, but feel just as busy in so many ways.
Yeah, absolutely. And how are you getting the football team better in the off season?
Yeah, we started in January when our young men came back for the spring semester of school here. They got to work in the weight room and have done a great job in the weight room starting in January. Started spring practice last week, so it's kind of cyclical. You're in the weight room in the beginning of the year, then you get into spring practice. So we're practicing 3 days a week and looking back at the things we did well last year and trying to continue to get better at them, and looking at the things we didn't do well and figuring out how we can do better on those things this upcoming season.
Now, what are those things that you didn't do this last season that you wanted to improve on this season?
I think this is the consistency part of it. One, we got to stay healthier at quarterback. Last year we started 4 different quarterbacks last season because of injuries. We got to stay healthy there. But I think just the consistency. We being able to handle success. We started out 2-0. And then we lost our next 2, and we were sitting there at 2-2. And then from that point on, we never won 2 games in a row, but we never lost 2 games in a row. And we've got to do a better job of, when we win a football game, handling that success and doing it again the next week. But, there's lots of areas, but just as an overhead picture, that's one thing that comes to mind.
Now, how do you personally handle that success as a coach?
I think it's just week to week and day to day, and you don't get too high, you don't get too low. It's really just trying to stay consistent and continuing to get better. And there's so many things to learn from a win, and there's so many things you can learn from a loss as well. So what we do is, after every game, let's look at the things we did well, the things we didn't do well, why we won, why we lost, and try and be a little bit better each week. And that's what I do as personally, and then as the head coach also.
And you talked earlier about recruiting. How many mid-year enrollees do you have right now?
We've got quite a few. We brought in, I guess 6 or 7 transfers from other colleges. We brought in close to 10 high school prospects that were mid-years and graduated high school early. So there's a bunch of new faces in our program right now. And it's exciting to have so many of those new guys here.
Yeah, and how many walk-ons do you expect to have this year?
Yeah, every year. So in the SEC and at the highest level of college football, like we are, you have 85 guys on scholarship, and then every program is different in the number of walk-ons that you can have. So we're right around 30. Or so of the young men in our program are walk-ons, and we're constantly trying to bring in really good young men and really good players into our program as walk-ons, and this year is no different.
And where exactly are you getting these high character players from?
We always want to start right here in the state of South Carolina if we can. There's some great young men, great students, great high school programs, great schools in South Carolina. So we always want to start here, but it's just like recruiting in general. We're gonna go where there's great players and great young men at, and there's a lot of people that are interested in our university and our football program, but primarily South Carolina. But we've got young men on our team from Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Virginia, Delaware. All the way all around.
During the first spring practice recently, how many pre-snap penalties did you have?
Not a lot. Pleased with our guys and the way they're working. So we pride ourselves on playing smart football, which means not having a lot of penalties, and we haven't. So I've been pleased with that so far. Knock on wood.
And you're probably pleased that there are no false starts at all as well.
Yeah, no question. That's don't beat yourself, and we're trying to do a great job of not doing that.
Exactly right. And talk to me about how different conditioning is this season versus last season.
Well, every year I think our guys are in great shape. They've done a great job in the weight room and with the way they work going into spring practice. And I think the conditioning is great. They've gotten faster, they've gotten stronger, they've gotten more explosive, and we'll get through spring practice. And then summer, the months of June and July in the weight room are critical as well as we get ready for the football season also to improve that conditioning.
That's amazing. We're looking forward to a great football season up in Columbia, and I hope to come and see one of the games as well. But
Yep.
Coach Shane Beamer with the University of South Carolina Gamecocks, thank you for your time. And again, welcome to Quintin's Close-Ups.
You bet. Thanks for having me on, Quentin, and really appreciate it. Hope to do it again soon.
Absolutely. Likewise.